Good evening, students. Today I am teaching you Module 3 Balance of Payment and International Economic Organizations. Balance of payment is a systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of one country and the residents of the rest of the world during a specific period. It is an annual statement. Yearly statement. It includes current as well as capital transactions. It has two sides, credit side and debit side. The structure of balance of payment. The credit and debit items are shown vertically in the balance of payment account of a country. Horizontally, they are divided into three: the trade account, the current account, and the capital account. First, the trade account balance. It is the difference between exports and imports of goods. Trade account balance shows whether a particular country has deficit or surplus in their account. Industrially developed country will have surplus. Industrially backward country will have deficit in trade balance account. Second, current account. It records exports and imports of goods and services and unilateral transfers. It includes the following. First, the difference between export and import of goods. Second, the difference between export and import of services. Third, unilateral transfers. It means one-way transfer of fund from one country to another country. Fourth, balance of trade. It is the record of the difference between the exports and imports. Second, capital account. It includes the following. First, foreign travel. Second, transportation. Third, insurance. Fourth, investment income. Fifth, government bodies' expenses abroad. Fifth, banking and brokerage services. Next, transfer payments. And next, software. Next, education and entertainment. Third, unilateral transfers. A unilateral transfer is a one-way transfer of money, goods or services from one party to another. It is often used to describe payments made by a government to their citizens or from one country to another country in the form of foreign aid. Aid means help. Fourth, capital account. The capital account is a part of a country's balance of payment. It measures financial transactions that affect a country's future income, production, or savings. An example is a foreigner's purchase of a US copyright to a song, book, or film. Its value is based on what it will produce in the future. Capital transactions take place in three different ways. First, long-term capital movements. The flows of foreign currency between countries representing both short-term and long-term investment in physical assets and financial securities and borrowings. Second, short-term capital movements. Short-term international capital movements consist of such credit instruments that have a maturity of less than 1 year. The short-term capital movements can take place through currency, demand deposits, bills of exchange, commercial papers, and time deposits up to a maturity of 1 year. Next, loans. Loans received by the public sector from abroad are credit items and loans repaid are debit items. Next, the official reserve account. The official reserve account, a subdivision of the central account, is the foreign currency and securities held by the government, usually by its central bank, and is used to balance the payments from year to year. The official reserves increases when there is a trade surplus and decreases when there is a deficit. Next, statistical discrepancy means errors. Errors means mistakes. The official adjustment factor in the national income and product accounts that ensures equality between the income and expenditure approaches to measuring gross domestic product. It is also key difference between gross domestic income and gross domestic product. Gross means total. Next, overall balance. It is the algebraic sum of balance on current account and balance on capital account. If the total payments are more than total receipts, then overall balance will have a negative sign and is called deficit or unfavorable balance. Next, foreign exchange reserves. It refers to the reserves held in the form of currencies like dollar, euro, pound and gold. Now, what are the causes of disequilibrium in the balance of payment? First one, trade cycle. Cyclical changes in economic activities are the main cause of disequilibrium in the balance of payment. Second, industrialization and development programs. Huge development and investment programs in the developing economies are the root cause, means main cause of the disequilibrium in the balance of payments of these countries. Their propensity to import goes on increasing for want of capital for rapid industrialization. Third, changes in export demand. A vast increase in the domestic production of foodstuffs, raw materials, substitute goods, etc. in advanced countries has decreased their need for import from the agrarian. Agrarian means agriculture and developed countries. Thus, export demand has considerably changed, resulting in structural disequilibrium in these countries. Fourth, demonstration effect. It is one of the main causes of disequilibrium in the balance of payment of developing countries. The people in developing countries imitate the lifestyle of the people in rich countries. This will increase imports of developing countries. A major part of income is spent on imports of consumer goods. As a result, the balance of payment disequilibrium arises. Fifth, population growth. High population growth in poor countries also had adversely means badly affected their balance of payment position. It is easy to see that an increase in population increases the needs of these countries for imports and decreases the capacity to export. Next, inflation. Huge developmental programs and industrialization has compelled the developing countries like India to adopt deficit financing. Deficit financing means printing more currency notes to finance deficit in the budget, which in turn has increased inflation. Rising prices of imports has also increased inflation. Seventh, huge external borrowings. Another reason for a surplus or deficit in the balance of payment arises out of international borrowing and investment. A country may tend to have an adverse balance of payments when it borrows heavily from another country, while the lending country will tend to have a favorable balance and the receiving country will have deficit balance of payment. Measures to correct disequilibrium in the balance of payment. First one, monetary measures. Monetary measures are those measures which are adopted by the monetary authority, that is RBI, Reserve Bank in India. First one, deflationary policy. The country may adopt deflationary or dear money policy by raising the bank rate and restricting. Restricting means controlling credit. Under deflation, prices fall, which makes exports attractive and imports relatively costlier. Means the price of the imports will increase and exports will become cheaper. This will increase exports and will decrease imports. Deflation policy leads to side effects like unemployment and poverty for a poor country. Second, exchange depreciation. Depreciation means a decrease in the relative value of a currency. Depreciation helps to increase exports and to decrease imports. In a depreciation, foreign prices are translated into domestic prices. Suppose that the exchange rate is $1 is equal to 50 rupees. If the rupee depreciates means decreases its value in terms of dollar. If the new exchange rate in the market settles at $1 is equal to rupees 58, then the rupee will be cheaper. Indian exports will be cheaper in the US market and US goods will be costlier for import. Third, devaluation. Devaluation of currency is another way that makes exports attractive. The term devaluation means a reduction in the official rate at which one currency is exchanged for another. It is an alternative to exchange depreciation. Devaluation is undertaken when the currency is found to be unduly overvalued. Devaluation makes the goods cheaper for foreigners. Exports will rise and imports decline, means decrease. The success of devaluation depends upon certain following factors. The demand elasticity for the exports must be greater than unity. Must be greater than 1. The elasticity of supply for the imports should be greater than unity. Devaluation should not be exceedingly adverse because it will not do anything. Other nations should not have the corresponding devaluation that has no value for each other's gain. Each other's gain means profit. Next, exchange control. Restriction means control on the use of foreign exchange by the central bank is called exchange control. When exchange control is adopted, all the exporters have to surrender their foreign exchange earnings to central bank. Surrender means submit. Under exchange control, the central bank releases foreign exchanges only for essential imports and conserves means protects the rest of the balance of foreign exchange reserves. This is the most direct method of curbing. Curbing means controlling imports. Exchange control in general deals with the balance of payments disequilibrium by controlling the deficit. Second, non-monetary measures. First one, tariff or import duties. Under this policy, import tariff duties are imposed so as to make the import costlier with an overall aim of controlling imports. Checking means controlling. Imports get reduced and balance of payments becomes favorable. Second, import quotas. Under this mechanism, the government fixes a maximum quantity or value of a commodity to be imported. This in turn will reduce the deficit and thereby the balance of payment position will improve. This measure has the immediate effect by controlling imports. Checking means controlling, as the marginal propensity to import becomes zero once the quota limit is reached. Next, export promotion and import substitution. Exports can be encouraged by producing quality products, improving production, and better marketing. A country produces domestically those goods which are imported. Next, encouragement to foreign investment. The government induces means encourages the foreigners to make an investment in the country, offering them all sort means kinds of investors incentives and concessions. This provides the government with extra foreign exchanges which are utilized to reduce the deficit in the balance of payments. Next, international measures. Adverse balance of payment can be corrected by the formation of new regional or international organizations like SAARC. SAARC means the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, and WTO, etc. WTO means World Trade Organizations. Next, social measures. Increased social awareness and the awakening of Swadeshi spirit can also help to control imports. Thank you, students.